Hi, this is Lisa with Red Lantern Glass. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm sharing fused glass mushroom cap project ideas. There are several project ideas for glass mushrooms on the web, but I thought you might enjoy seeing the different types that I've recently made. The materials and tools that I've used for most of the mushrooms shown in this video are listed here. To cut my larger circles, I used a circle cutter, but if you don't have a circle cutter, you can easily trace a circle onto glass and then using your handheld glass cutter, slowly cut along the line. The great thing about mushrooms is that you don't need a perfect circle. If you're just starting out, it's a great way to practice cutting circles and not worry about perfection. Once the mushroom cap drapes, you can't tell if there's a small imperfection. And I think it's a great way to use scrap glass as well, because you can make mushrooms in all different sizes with a variety of colors and materials. On my material list, I've included sheet glass, pre-fired dots, coarse frit powders, and glass adhesive to keep the dots in place. When I assembled the mushroom caps, I used wood and 2-part epoxy to hold the stem in place. You can find wood dowels at the hardware store in a variety of sizes, or I've seen people use copper tubing for the stem. You can be creative with whatever you have on hand. To start, you'll want to measure your mold and cut a circle to the size of your mold. For one of the mushroom caps, I wanted to use a stencil, so I selected 2 different colored powders. In this case, I used marigold yellow and pumpkin orange. Then I applied a thick layer of powder in the first color, laid the stencil on the glass, and applied a thick layer of powder in the second color. I gently lifted the stencil, and this is how it looked. I created a second mushroom cap, also using marigold yellow and pumpkin orange powders, except this time I didn't use a stencil. Instead, I applied a thick layer of powder along the outer edge of the circle, and then with the other color, I applied another thick layer of powder along the inside of the circle. For this mushroom cap, I also gently laid coarse frit on the glass, careful not to disturb the powder. I just randomly arranged the frit so that it had somewhat of a natural design, but you can use dots, scrap glass, or marini as well. I then cut a third circle in red and laid pre-fired white dots on the top, again in a random pattern. I fired all 3 mushroom caps to attack fuse or slightly fire polished. In the second firing, I draped the glass over a radiant mushroom slump. For smaller versions, I used a cone flower mold. Here are some pictures of the final pieces.